It's nice to have you here, my dear students. So today we are going to continue with this unit. We are in unit number 4, everyday life. What are we studying? Everyday life. We are studying about this, how to describe your typical morning using the simple present. Also, we are learning how to describe weekly routines and say yes or no to questions. And also we are going to review the time expressions. And in lesson C, today we're going to continue learning how to say more information, how to give more information to sound friendly, not saying only or answering only yes or no, but to give more information to sound friendly. And also the how to use a strategy that is well to give us time to think. And in lesson D, finishing today unit number 4, we are going to read about American habits for teenagers, and we are going to write a blog. Okay, let me pause a little bit here. I'm going to ask you about time. Do you remember the time expressions to talk about your morning or evening routines, the routines that you do during your week? Do you remember time expressions? ¿Se acuerdan de algunas expresiones de tiempo? Can you name a time expression? ¿Pueden nombrar una expresión de tiempo? Anybody? How do you say en la mañana?
In the morning.
How do you say en la tarde? Muy bien, Fátima.
In the afternoon.
How do you say en la semana?
And week.
Week es semana, yes. Week, on the week, on fines de semana.
In weekend.
Durante la semana. Okay, let's see. Very good, Fatima. Nice work. Listen to this lady for the time expressions.
Grammar. Time expressions.
Can you listen to the lady? ¿Sí la escuchan? ¿Sí escuchan la grada? Sí, excelente.
Use time expressions to say when you do things. When means what time, what day. On Mondays.
I play football on Mondays.
Notice, on Mondays and on Monday are both correct.
Can you check this, please? On Mondays refers to an activity that is a repetition on that day. So you do it one Monday, you repeat that activity next Monday, so you say on Mondays with plural. On Monday, each for an activity that is only one time or once only. So when you say on Mondays, means that is a repetition every Monday. Okay, that's why we use an S like a plural noun. Very important for you to remember this. If you say on Mondays, means that the activity, you repeat the activity this Monday, next Monday, and so on. And on Monday means only one Monday. It's not a repetition. Okay? Any questions with that? If not, we are going to continue with more expressions.
On the weekends.
On the week.
I work on the weekends.
Means Saturday and Sunday only, weekends. On the weekends. We don't say in the weekends or at the weekends, no. On the week. Can you repeat with me, please? On the weekends. Open your microphones and say on the weekends.
On the weekends.
On the weekends. Thank you. On the weekends. Meaning that you do the activity Saturday and Sunday, okay?
Notice, On the weekends, on weekends, and on the weekend are all correct.
And as you can see here, these three different expressions are correct. On the weekends, because you repeat the activity more than one weekend. On weekends means the same, but it's shorter. And also on the weekend means that it's only one weekend, is not a repetition. Yes, Carolina, you have a question? I cannot hear you. It's okay, everything, Carolina?
Yeah, on the weekend es solamente cuando es un día.
Exactly. On the weekend with no S, like here, means that is only one weekend. For example, today is weekend, Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. This weekend maybe is a party. It's only one weekend. But if this party, it's next week also, it's a repetition. So you have party this weekend, and then you have a party next weekend. You say weekends with an S, because the activity repeats this week and next week. Is it clear, Carolina? You repeat the activity all weekends. For example, football, soccer, it's most common to play on the weekends. And you repeat the activity Saturday and Sunday, and next week, Saturday and Sunday, and then the next week, Saturday and Sunday. So you repeat the activity more than one. So you say on the weekends with an S. But if the activity is only one weekend, you use without the S. But remember, all three expressions are correct. Is it clear, Carolina?
Okay, teacher.
Very good. On the weekends or on weekends, these two expressions are the same. This is different because this one refers only one weekend, and this one maybe 2, 3 weekends, 4 or more. So you repeat the activity on the weeks. For example, when do you go to church? To church and pray. You say, oh, I go to the church on weekends or on the weekends, because it's a repetitive action. Every Sunday, I go to church on the weekends, or I go to church on weekends. But maybe shopping, oh, I go to shopping on the weekend because I go once a month, one time every month. For example, this month is May. I go shopping in one opportunity, so I go shopping on the weekend. It's only one weekend, okay? Is it clear or no? Yes? Thank you. Let's continue. More expressions. Okay, repeat after me. On the weekends.
The weekend.
In the weekends.
The weekends.
On the weekend.
On the
On the
weekend.
weekend.
Very good. Now,
In the morning.
in the morning means that you do the
I get up
activity early in the morning. For example,
in the morning.
in the morning.
Notice, in the morning and in the mornings are both correct.
The same thing with in the morning or in the mornings. Because you go to school in the mornings before the pandemic.
In the
Or
afternoon.
in the afternoon or in the afternoons.
I go to a class in the afternoon.
Notice, in the afternoon and in the afternoons are both correct.
More expressions.
In the evening.
I go shopping in the evening.
Notice, in the evening and in the evenings are both correct.
The same thing, a repetitive action.
At night,
I clean the house late at night.
Check out this one. At night is not in the night, it's at night. We have in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but night is at night, okay? Repeat after me. In the morning,
In the morning.
in the afternoon,
In the
In the
afternoon.
afternoon.
in the evening,
In the evening.
but at night. Repeat with me. At night.
At night.
Very good. At night. Let's continue.
before breakfast.
I do my homework before breakfast.
Before is used when you do an activity prior another activity. Before means that you do this activity, number one, and you leave breakfast for activity number two. So before is earlier, means first thing. So you do a homework, or I do my homework before breakfast. So I don't know, maybe you clean your room before you go out and play. When your mom says, oh, clean your room, if you're not going to play Xbox or eat the cake, you do this thing first and then you do the other thing before.
After class.
After means you do the activity at the second.
I check my email after class.
So you have one activity first, and then you have the other activity. This is number one. After you do another activity. You check your email. First, I take a class. After class, I check my email. Repeat after me, please. Before.
Before.
After.
After.
Thank you, Fatima.
Every day.
Another expression, every day.
I watch TV every day.
Every day means it's a routine that you do an activity every day. For example, if I ask you, when do you take a shower? What is take a shower?
Every day.
Take a shower.
Every
Do
day.
you take a shower? With the shower like this? Something like this. You take a shower and you are here taking the shower in the bathroom. So, Fatima, do you take a shower?
Yes.
Carolina, do you take a shower?
Yes, teacher, every day.
Every day, sure, Carolina. Francisco, do you take a shower?
Yes.
Okay, so very important. I take a shower every day. Huh? So raise your hand if you take a shower every day. If not, okay, raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. Okay, Carolina, please. Carolina, take a shower every day. Okay, you see, we have many activities, many time expressions in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evenings, at night, before, after, every day. Let's check this one here. It's a summary. You're going to see all the activities together.
Grammar. Time expressions. Use time expressions to say when you do things. Listen and repeat.
Listen and repeat, please.
On Monday.
On Monday.
On Mondays.
On Mondays.
On weekends.
On weekend.
Weekends.
On the weekends.
On the
On
week.
the weekends.
On the weekend.
On
On
the
the weekend.
In the morning.
in the
In the
morning.
morning.
In the mornings.
In the
In the
morning.
morning.
In the evening.
In the evening.
In the evenings.
in the
In
evening,
the evenings.
At night.
At night.
Before breakfast.
Before breakfast.
After class.
After class.
Every day.
Every
Every
day.
day.
Now repeat after me, please. I play football on Mondays.
I play
I play
football
football
on
on
Monday.
Mondays.
I work on the weekends.
I
I
work
work
on
on
the
the
weekends.
weekend.
I get up early in the morning.
I get
I
up
get up
early
in
in
the
the
morning.
morning.
I go shopping in the evening.
I go
I go
shopping in the
shopping in the
evening.
evening.
I clean the house late at night.
I clean the house late at night.
Thank you. I do my homework before class.
I do
I
my
do my
homework
homework
before class.
I check my email after class.
I check my
I check
email
my
after
email
class.
after class.
I watch TV every day.
I watch
I
TV
watch
every
TV
day.
every day.
Very good, guys. Remember, these are time expressions that you use to tell when you do an activity. When is a question that asks you for the time. You can use these expressions to tell about the time, okay? Now, for example, here, time expression, you need to put the expressions in order, well, the sentences in order. The sentences are scrambled. So you need to unscramble. Scramble means in Spanish, revueltos. You need to put in order. For example, friends, my soccer on plays Sundays. What is the correct order for this sentence? Can you help me? Francisco, Fatima, Carolina? Let me do it for you. So you say, my friends play soccer on Sundays. Let me check if that is correct. Yes, I am very good. Let's do it again. Correct your answers. Number 2, what is the correct order for number 3? Pacheco.
My sister watches TV at night.
Very good. Fatima, number 4.
We have breakfast in the morning.
Okay, Carolina, you are the last one. Number 5, Carolina.
I do my after home school.
What is the correct order for this one?
I
I
do after my homework school.
I do after my homework school. One is incorrect. After is incorrect.
I do homework. I do my homework after school.
Exactly. I do my homework after school. You see, number 3, Pacheco. Number 4, Fatima. Number 5, Carolina. Very good. This is just for us to practice a little bit. Let's check number 3. What are the activities? And right here, you can do it in your platform for this time expression activity. It says complete the sentences with words in the box. These words are prepositions, and you can use them to talk about different times or hours to tell when you do an activity. So now we are going to place these words in the correct box. For example, number 1, my sister makes phone calls in the morning. What is number 2? My parents get up early
On
on Mondays. Thank you, Pacheco. Number 3, Fatima or Carolina. My brother plays sports
In the
afternoon.
In the afternoon.
Okay, both are correct. Very good. Number 4, my mother plays sports day. Which
Every
one?
day.
Every day. Number 5,
at
that night.
very good. And finally, number 6.
After.
Oh, really? Difficult. Okay, yes, very good. Finally, time expressions. Again, more prepositions. In, on, at, or before. Okay, let me give control to Fatima. Yes. Fatima, now you control my mouse. Please put the correct one for number 2. Muy bien, very good. Now I'm going to give control to Carolina. Carolina is your opportunity. Okay? Carolina, please check number 3. Which one is the correct word? For my father does the laundry night. Carolina, you can do it with my mouse. You can do it. Exactly. On night? Okay. Let me help you. Let me help you. Oops. Excellent, Carolina. Muy bien. Can you control my mouse, Pacheco?
no creo.
No, I don't think so, because you're using your cell phone. Okay, don't worry. Give me number 4. My family before dinner. Fatima, you put on the evening?
Yo puse in.
That is correct. Thank you. And finally, on Thursday. You see, on is used for days on Thursdays. In for in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon. At for night. Before or after, you can use it differently to tell the activity if you do it before or after another activity. Let's check. Very good. Everything is correct. Now let's go to the content. We finished this activity right here. Time expressions. Okay, let's move on. And here in lesson C, let's go to lesson C. Do you work out every day? We were visiting different activities, and I want you to tell me about saying more than this. This is where we finished last class. We were talking about activities for these 2 people, which are Celia and the other guy, I don't remember the name, Andy, right here, to say more than yes or no, okay? We are going to use the same conversation that we used last class. Let me get to the conversation. It's not this one. Let me see. Yes, I hear. I see you here all the time. Remember this conversation about working out at the gym? Remember this one? Do you go to the gym? I work out, meaning workout to do exercise. We did this activity, then we learn about different activities from Celia and Andy. Remember Celia and Andy? Here is the audio.
Hi, I see you here all the time. Do you work out every day?
Well, I come here before class.
Oh, are you a student?
Yeah, well, I'm a part-time law student. And I work at a TV station, too.
A TV station? Really?
Yeah, I'm an intern. So, do you come here every day?
Uh-huh. I run here every morning.
Oh, so do you live around here?
No, I live about 10 miles away.
You run 10 miles every day? Wow.
Runs 10 miles every day. So now, using this conversation, I want you to identify here in this lesson, saying more than yes or no. Remember, sometimes we answer yes, sometimes we answer no, but to sound more friendly, more natural, we give more information. Here in notice, in this box says, notice how Andy and Celia answer questions. They say more than yes or no because they want to be friendly. So for example, like this line. So do you live around here? No, I live 10 miles away. Now, it says the activity. Read the conversation. How do they answer questions? And it says select 5 answers they give to the questions. Please let me know or tell me where are the answers. Tell me where are the answers. For example, do you work out every day? The answer is here. Well, I come here before class. Is there another answer? ¿Hay alguna otra respuesta ahí? Check the conversation. Caro, si estás hablando, casi no te escucho. Soy un ruidito nada más. Fátima, where is another answer? Pacheco, you see, here are the questions. What are the answers? Let me help you. It says, are you a student? This is an answer. Yeah, well, I'm a part-time law student and I work at a TV station. A TV station, really? Yeah, I'm an intern. And he, Andy, replies or gives or asks a question. So do you come here every day? No, I run here every morning. So do you live around here? No, I live 10 miles away. These are the answers. You see? They give more information. Let's go to the next activity. Is it clear right here? Check the answers. They are not saying yes only. They are not saying no only. Let's check the next video about giving answers, about responding. It says this is a conversation strategy, saying more than yes or no. Check the video, please. Yes, Carolina, question? Any question? No? Fatima, give me a thumbs up if everything is okay, please. Carolina, Fatima, Pacheco. Thank you.
Conversations
Let's listen to this strategy.
strategy. Saying more than yes or no. Listen to this conversation.
Are you a student?
Yes.
Is he saying more? Is this correct?
No.
Well, Fatima, yes, is correct. But we are going to sound more friendly. Let's check Next question.
Do you live around here?
No.
Is this correct? Yes. It's an answer. But to sound more friendly, you give more information. Check out this.
Saying just yes or no is not very friendly. Now listen to this conversation.
Are you a student?
Yeah. Well, I'm a part-time law student.
Do you live around here?
No, I live about 10 miles away.
You see, he is giving
This is a friendly
more information. It's a friendly conversation.
conversation. The people say more than yes or no when they answer questions. Say more than yes to be friendly.
Are you a student?
Yeah. Well, I'm a part-time law student.
Right here, he is giving more information to sound more natural and to sound more friendly. Yeah, instead of only saying yes. So this is correct. Yes, is correct, but this is better. Okay? You sound more friendly and more natural. Let's continue.
Say more than no to be friendly.
Do you live around here?
No. I live about 10 miles away.
If you
Say more than
if you say only no, well, it's correct, but it's not really friendly.
yes or no to be friendly. Listen and repeat.
Now, can you listen, please, and repeat with me? Open your... Yes, Fatima? Yes?
Teacher, en la contestación de la pregunta de to you, ¿se puede contestar yes, I do y complementar o solamente se tiene que contestar sí o no y complementar?
Thank you for the question, Fatima. You can say yes and then give the information, like here. Yes, well, I'm a part-time law student. You can do that. Or you can say yes, I do. This is correct. And then you give all the information. Both are correct. So you can say yes, yes, I do. And then give the information. The more complete, the better. Because this is the complete information. But you can say yes. Like here, it doesn't say yes, it says yeah. So yes is normal. Yeah is normal. But yes, Fatima.
Okay.
You can say yes or yeah or yes I do. And then the information.
Okay, thanks, teacher.
You're welcome. So listen, please, everybody. Listen and repeat.
Are you a student?
Are you a student?
Are you a student? Yeah.
You're a student?
Yeah. Well, I'm a part-time law student.
Yeah.
Then I am a part-time.
Yeah, well, I'm part-time law student.
Very good. Number 3.
Do you live around here?
Do you live around here?
Thank you.
No. I live about 10 miles away.
No, I live about 10 miles away.
10 miles
Very
away.
good. Now, check here. I want you to help me to identify the answers to sound more friendly. It says, read the questions. Choose 2 correct answers for each question. For example, number 1 is done. Number 1 is complete. Do you live around here? Yes, I am, but my mother is from Spain. That is not the correct answer. But this right here Well, I live about 2 miles away is correct. Or no, I don't. I live in Oaktown. You see, Fatima? No, I don't. And then more information. Oh, yes, I do. I live in Oaktown. So you can use both ways. Number 2, what is a friendly answer? Do you have a job?
Well,
No, I don't. I drive here. Well, I work at store on the weekends. Or yeah, I have a part-time job at a restaurant.
well, I
Well,
work on the weekends. Yeah, I have apartment of a restaurant.
Okay, Carolina, your microphone is very low. I don't know what's the problem, but it's very low. Maybe you have something on your computer, but both are correct. Fatima, do you agree with Carolina? ¿Estás de acuerdo con Carolina?
yes.
Very good. So number 2 and number 3. For question number 3, are you from here originally? 1, 2, 3.
1,
Number 1, okay.
2.
But number 2.
No, I'm from China.
Exactly. Okay, Pacheco, for number 4, give me an answer that is friendly. Do you have brothers and sisters?
No, I'm an only child, and yes, I have a sister.
Excellent. Carolina, do you like sports?
Yes, I do. I play on the sport team. Yeah, my favorite, no, not read, but watch soccer on TV.
Very good. Fatima, do your parents live around here?
No, they live in a small town near the ocean. Yeah, we live together near here.
Exactly. Very good, Fatima. Let me just point out something here, Fatima, and everybody. This word, this one. Repeat after me. Live.
Live.
Live. Live.
Live.
Live means like this, vivir. I live in Acapulco. I live in Querétaro. I live in La Garita. Live. This is for you to tell that you have a residence. Now, listen and repeat with me. It's the same word. Repeat with me. Live.
Live.
Live. Live means that something is on direct. For example, a concert. Something that is happening right now and is maybe on Facebook or maybe on WhatsApp or YouTube. So it's a live activity. Like, for example, when you watch a concert and you see the TV, that the concert is right now, is live, meaning está en vivo, live. 2 meanings different. Live, vivir. Live, que está en vivo. Okay, Fatima, Carolina, Pacheco? 2 meanings is the same word, they sound different. Live, I live in a place. I live in Acapulco, I live in Puerto Rico, I live in Mexico, I live. Live is used when a program, maybe a concert, maybe a game, something is happening right now, okay? Those are 2 sounds, different sounds, but it's the same word. So, just for you to know, okay? Okay, Fatima? Okay, Carolina? Very good activity right here. All answers are correct. Let's go for number 3. To repeat about conversation strategy, saying more than yes or no. Okay, here we have some questions. Are you busy at work? Do you like your new teacher? And so on. And you need to put the answers in the correct box. For example, here number 1, it says, are you busy at work? No, I'm not. I have a lot of time this week. So this is the correct one. For number 2, which answer is more correct? Remember, it's not only saying yes or no, but they are giving more information. For number 2, do you like your new teacher? What is the answer?
Yes, currently class and always interesting.
Okay, do you agree, Fatima, Francisco, that this is the correct? Okay. Number 3, does your sister live here?
Yes, she does. We live together.
Exactly. We live together. Very good, Fatima. We live together. Okay, now number 4, I'm going to give control to Carolina. Carolina, please.
Yes.
Are you a tennis fan? Please drag and drop the correct one. Okay, very good. That is the correct one. Something is not working. Okay. Exactly. Move that down. Very good. And this one. This one is from Fatima. Very good. Don't worry. Now, Fatima, please do the other. Number 5. Do you take any classes? Well, I study English in the evenings. Not really. We'll check it every day. I check it every day. Exactly. That is the correct one. And finally, Pacheco. Well, Pacheco is not able to control, but I did it for him. So we are going to check the end. You see, these answers are giving more information. Not only yes, not only no, and you sound more friendly. Let's go for number 4. Any questions here? No questions? Everything fine? Give me a thumbs up if everything fine. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, Pacheco. Now, this activity, it's in your platform. You can do this activity with your computer. Let me show you how this works. It says, play the part of Celia or Andy. You are going to select your role. So you can be Andy or you can be Celia. Also, you are able to record your audio only or the video, depending on how you want to do the activity. And finally, you can see the complete conversation, hide your lines, or the entire conversation. Let me do it first for you so you can see it, okay? For example, I'm going to play the role of Andy. I selected Andy, meaning that I am going to read these lines, and I'm going to record the audio only, and I'm going to show the complete conversation. I'm going to click on Start, and here I'm going to give play. Listen.
Hi, I see you here all the time. Do you work out every day?
Now it's my turn. When I click here, I'm going to record my voice. Check. Well, I come here before class. Then I stop, and then I give play to listen my voice.
Well, I come here before class.
Sounds funny, but you are going to be able to record yourself, okay? In everything. Did you understand the activity? Yes. ¿Sí entendieron la actividad? Fátima, Carolina, Pacheco.
No muy bien, teacher.
¿No muy bien? Ok, ahí les va en español, rapidísimo, aunque me regañen, ni modo. Aquí, en esa actividad, van a ustedes a hablar, van a regrabar su voz, record your voice. Van a escoger quién quieren ser, si Celia o Andy. Pueden grabar audio o pueden grabar audio y video, si seleccionan aquí. La idea es que ustedes se graben. Pueden mostrar toda la conversación, esconder sus líneas o esconder toda la conversación. Cuando le doy clic en Start, inicio. Y aquí está. ¿Qué va a pasar? Que le doy clic en Play en la parte de Celia y le escucho.
Hi, I see you here all the time. Do you work out every day?
Y ahora me toca grabar mi parte. Le doy clic aquí en grabar y después le doy clic para parar. Well, I come here before class. Y ya le di parar y ya me escucho.
Well, I come here before class.
Y así puedo ir grabando cada una de las respuestas. Si no me gustó, puedo darle Start Again. Y al final le doy clic en Play All para que se escuche todo de corridito. ¿Ahora sí quedó claro?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
This activity is for you to practice on the platform. Please do it. Practice with your password and your, how to say, your login name and your password. Up to here, any questions or is everything fine? ¿Alguna pregunta, alguna duda hasta aquí? ¿Todo bien?
Todo bien, teacher, thank you.
Now let's continue. Okay, Fatima, Francisco, everything fine?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, it's 1 o'clock. In one more hour, we are going to have our break. So we can have maybe grab a snack according. Now here in Strategy Plus, it says watch and listen the presentation. Strategy Plus is using well, remember well? To give us time to think.
Strategy Plus. Well. Start your answer to a question with well if you need time to think.
Do you work out every day?
Well,
Start your answer to a question with well if the answer is not a simple yes.
Do you work out every day?
well, I run every morning.
So you see, well, if the answer is not a simple, well, I run every morning. Let's see another example.
Start your answer to a question with well if the answer is not a simple no.
Do you work out every day?
It's the same question, but now it's negative.
Well, not on weekends.
Oh, every day, not on weekends. This is more than only a no.
Start your answer to a question with well if the answer is not a simple yes or no.
Do you work out every day?
Well, I come here before class.
Summary.
Remember, start your answer to a question with well if the answer is not a simple yes or no. Listen and repeat.
Listen and repeat, everybody.
Do you work out every day?
Do you?
Do you work out every day?
Well, I come here before class.
Well, I come here before class.
Before class.
Very good. This is a normal conversation. Well,
In conversation. Well is one of the top 50 words.
This is just information that this word
Well,
is very useful and is used many times for Americans or English speakers. Okay, in a conversation.
In conversation. Well is one of the top 50 words.
well,
Many people use this word, so it's very common. Now here in this activity, it says, Strategy Plus, listen to Mike ask yes about her life. And you need to choose or select one of the answers. Right here we have 3 answers, different answers. Let me increase the size of this. Okay. And you need to choose. Let's listen. Question number 1.
what are your neighbors like?
Well, they're very noisy. They like loud music.
Okay, for number 2.
Do you see your family a lot?
Well, not really. They don't live around here.
Okay, I gave you the answer. Not really. They don't live around here. Number 3. Are you from a big family? Which one is the correct one? I cannot put more bigger the words. I have 2 brothers. Yeah, I have 3 brothers and sisters. Or not really, I have 1 sister. What is the correct answer? Are you from a big family? 1, 2, or 3? I cannot hear you, Fatima, Francisco, Carolina. 1, 2, or 3?
No escuché bien el audio, teacher.
Ah, no lo he puesto. The question is, are you from a big family? Now you need to tell me which one is the correct one. Let me go back and forth. Déjenme regresar y
Very well,
ver si lo
I
puedo
have.
hacer. Ok. Vamos a ver. Aquí está. Ahí se ve mejor. Ok. Number 1 is that. Number 2, do you see your family a lot? Listen.
Do you see your family a lot?
Well, not really. They don't live around here.
Number 3, are you from a big family? And please help me.
I have 2 brothers.
I have 2 brothers, okay. Do you agree, Carolina, Fatima? Let's listen.
Are you from a big family?
Well, not really. I have 1 sister.
The correct answer is this one. Not really, I have 1 sister. Number 4, does your family live near here? We live about 4 or 5 miles away. My sister lives near here. My parents live near the beach. Or not really. We live about 1 hour away. Which one is the correct one? 1, 2, or 3?
The second answer.
The second? Okay. Okay. Let's listen.
Does your family live near here?
Well, my sister and I live near here. My parents live near the beach.
Very good, Pacheco. Okay, this is for Carolina. Carolina, it says, do you study every day? Well, not every day. I go out with friends on the weekends. Well, I study at the library in the evenings. Not really. I take classes on Mondays and Tuesdays. Which one is the correct? 1, 2, or 3? Carolina, 1, 2, or 3? 3. Okay, let's listen.
Do you study every day?
Well, not every day. I go out with friends on the weekends.
Okay, but this one is correct too. Okay, this is the correct one. Fatima, this is for you. Does your dad work on the weekends? Well, he works every day. Well, yeah, he works on Sunday mornings. Well, he works on Friday nights. Which one is the correct one?
He works on Friday night.
Okay, let's listen.
Does your dad work on the weekends?
Well, yeah. He works every day.
The correct one was the first one. Don't worry. Don't worry, Fatima. But those are the answers. You can do this activity also in your platform. Listen to the activity. Listen to the sentences so you can have practice listening English during the week. Now here, to finish this one, Strategy Plus. Match the questions with the responses and listen and check your answers. Now, for example, here we have 5 questions. Number 1 has the answer here, is done. Number 2, it's only the question. Do you work a lot? One of these is the correct one. Well, not every day. I go to the gym 2 days a week. Can you read number 2, Pacheco? Please,
Well,
number 2.
I don't play sports, but I watch soccer on TV.
Very good. Carolina, can you read number 2?
Well, not every day. I don't study in weekends.
Very good. Fatima, number 3? Or number 4?
Well, I like a lot of actors. I don't have a favorite actor.
Very good. So for number 2, which answer is the correct one? Work out. Do you work out a lot?
Well, not every day. I go to the gym 2 days a week.
Very good. Do you like sports, Francisco?
Well, I don't play sports, but I watch soccer on TV.
Very good. Carolina, do you study every day? Again, this question, okay. Do you study every day, Carolina?
Well, not every day. I don't study.
Very good. And this is for me because it's the easier one. Now we can listen to the conversation here. Okay. Okay. I don't know what the problem is, but when you finish, you click on play and then you hear the complete conversation. Let's check the answers. It's right there.
Are you from a big family?
Well, I have 2 brothers and a sister. Do you work out a lot?
Well, not every day. I go to the gym 2 days a week. Do you like sports?
Well, I don't play sports, but I watch soccer on TV. Do you study every day?
Well, not every day. I don't study on the weekends. Who's your favorite actor?
Well, I like a lot of actors. I don't have a favorite actor.
Okay, that's the activity for this one. We finish with this strategy. Remember, say well to give you time to think, okay? Now, with this one, we finish with this activity. And now we are going to see about lesson D, on average. We are going to finish this unit by checking about the aims. What are the aims, the objective of this lesson? The objective of this lesson is to read an article about American habits and finally write about a classmate write about a classmate for a class website. So it's like writing a blog. You are going to be able to write something on the platform, okay? Let's go to the first activity. It says reading. Are you like an average American? Here, what are these activities? For example, number 1, Carla spends 4 hours on the internet. Spend time on the internet. Listen.
Carla spends 4 hours on the internet every day.
Okay. What about number 2? Marcus gets up at 8 a.m. on the weekdays. Which one is the correct?
6:30.
6:30. Very good. Listen to Marcus.
Marcus gets up at 6:30 a.m. on weekdays.
What about Frank? He spends about hours a day at work.
8.
8 hours, okay. And finally, Carolina, let's listen to Frank.
Frank spends about 8 hours a day at work.
Very good. And finally, number 4, Carolina, it says, Laura goes to a restaurant
3
times a week on average. You say 3? Okay, let's listen.
Laura goes to a restaurant 3 times a week on average.
3 times a week. Wow, a lot of time. Let's check the answers. We have the audio right here. You can see the audio script. After you click on check, the other answers are missing. 8 hours is 8 hours. What's the problem with 8?
Frank spends about 8 hours a day at work.
My mistake. I put the H after the T, so that's why it's incorrect. So you can do this activity on your platform too. Every activity, we are going to just check how to do it, and then you do it in your platform. Here, lesson D on average. These are some activities that you spend time doing it. For example, I spend less than 1 hour a day doing one activity, or maybe you spend 2 to 4 hours a day doing something, and you spend more than 4 hours a day. You need to select the activity that you do in that period of time. The period of time is 1 hour. What activity you spend less? What means less? Do you know what less means? ¿Saben qué significa less?
Menos.
Exactly. Thank you, Pacheco. So here you say, I spend less than an hour a day doing what activity? At work, at school, exercising, in the car, on the bus, and so on. Which activity do you spend less than 1 hour a day? ¿Qué actividad hacen que se gastan menos de 1 hora al día?
Watch TV.
Watch TV, okay. I spend less than 1 hour a day exercising. Not good. Huh? It's wrong. 2 to 4 hours a day. Fatima, one activity that you do using from 2 hours to 4 hours a day. Which activity do you do?
On the internet.
Mm-hmm. Pacheco? Oh, sorry, Fatima, another?
No. On the phone.
On the phone. Oh, 4 hours on the phone, Fatima. Pacheco. 4 hours a
At
day
work.
at work. Very good. I spend more than 4 hours a day.
At
Well,
school.
on the school or at school, maybe in the car. Well, this is not an activity that you can check answers. It's different for everybody. But these are activities that you do maybe different hours or different amount of times. So it's different. This is not like with grades. It's different. Let's go for activity number 3. If you have a question, please raise your hand or raise your hand. It says lesson D on average. This is the activity that tells us that you need to read the script or the article. It says read the tip and skim the article. Skim means a very fast look, like you go when you read something in the commercial center or maybe in the supermarket. You go to pay, you see some magazines, and you just skim the magazines very fast. You skim the article, and then you choose the topics for the article covers. For example, here, it says, you look at the top and skim the article. Aquí rápidamente skim quiere decir que es una ojeada al artículo. Skim.
¿Skim qué dijo que significaba?
Como una ojeada. Cuando ojeas algo rápido, una mirada rápida. Skim. ¿Sí? No tomas mucho tiempo, pero ves de qué se trata. Dice ahí, can you help me to read this? ¿Me ayudan a leer esto? I'm going to say the title, then first Francisco, then Carolina, and then Fatima are going to continue, okay? I'm going to read the title, then I call you by your name, so you continue reading. Let's start. It says, are you like an average American? Do you work 8 hours a day, Francisco?
Then you're similar to the typical American. In fact, the average American with a full-time job works use over 8 hours a day.
Thank you. Carolina.
How much time do you spend on the internet? The average American spends use under 2.5 hours a day online.
Thank you. Fatima.
So do you live perdón.
No worries.
Your life. ¿Cómo se pronuncia?
Life.
A ver, atrás. So,
yes.
So do you live your life like the average American? Find out with our quiz.
With our quiz. Very good. So, are you like the average American? If you're not, that's okay. It's fun to compare your life with the lives of people in another country. If you are, that's okay too, because the average American is happy. And now the question, is there any new word in the article for you? ¿Hay alguna palabrita nueva por aquí? Let me know. Check the article. Please let me know if you find a new word that is difficult for you or new word. Average. Average means promedio, the average American or the average Mexican. For example, our height, la altura, the average height for a Mexican is 180. La altura promedio de un mexicano, hombre, Es un 80. Average, promedio. Okay. Is there any other word? Fatima, Francisco?
2.5. Eso.
2.5, como el programa 2.5 Men, 2 horas y media. 2.5 hours. Dice,
Okay.
the average American, el americano promedio, spend just under, pasa de promedio, menos de 2 horas y media, ¿cómo? Online. So 2.5 hours, 2 horas y media. Any other question? Sorry, any other word?
Or kiss.
Find, buscar o descúbrelo. Find out, descúbrelo. With our quiz. Quiz is like a survey or like an exam. Quiz are just little questions that you can answer for fun. Son preguntas que son por diversión, no son así como un examen, un quiz. ¿Sale? Quiz. Is there any other word? ¿Alguna otra palabrita? If not, help me. What topics does the article cover? ¿Qué temas cubre el artículo? Types of jobs,
Yes.
Americans' daily habits in countries around the world, or how you compare with average American. Which one is the correct one?
Americans' daily habits.
Okay, let's check this one. Let's check the answers. No.
Is how you compare with the average American.
Okay, let's start again. Yes. Okay, how do you compare? Let's see if that's correct. No, Pacheco, no.
Type of job America have.
Daily types of jobs. Okay, number one, let's see. No.
Daily habit in countries.
Daily habits and in countries around the world. Let's check. No. The correct one is no. Okay, it says topics. Maybe we have to check 2 or more. Well, does the article talk about American for jobs? ¿Habla el artículo de trabajos de los americanos? No. American daily habits? Yes. How you compare? También, vamos a ver. Ya vieron, había que elegir 2. Ok, solo una no. ¿Quién escogió esta? How you compare with average American?
Yo.
¿Alguien la eligió?
Sí, yo.
Pues faltaba la otra. Muy bien, Pacheco. Yo también me confundí, quiero ser honesto. Okay, so this article is about different activities, different habits for an American person. Okay, let's go for part number 4. It says, reading. Are you like an average American? So maybe you're similar about the average American. Read and listen to the article. Then read the sentence about the article and then choose true or false. Let's listen all together, okay? Here is the complete article. Listen.
Are you like an average American? Do you work 8 hours a day? Then you're similar to the typical American. In fact, the average American with a full-time job works just over 8 hours a day. How much time do you spend on the internet? The average American spends just under 2.5 hours a day online. So, do you live your life like the average American? Find out with our quiz. 1. Do you get up at 6:30 a.m. on weekdays? The average American does. 2. Do you sing in the shower? The average American doesn't.
Okay, Fatima, Carolina, Francisco, do you sing in the shower? So you are
No.
showering. Oh, la, la, la. Yes, Francisco. Okay, Carolina, what about you? Do you sing in the shower?
Yes.
Very good. Fatima, you don't sing, right?
A veces.
Sometimes?
Yes.
Okay, number 3.
3. Do you have cereal with milk for breakfast?
Okay, for breakfast,
Yes.
cereal and milk. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
The average American does. 4. Do you have a pet?
Do you have a pet? Thank you, Carolina. Say yes with a thumbs up if you have a pet. What is a pet? A mascota. Do you have a pet? Okay. Carolina? Fatima? No?
No, teacher.
The average American doesn't. 5. Do you use public transportation every day?
Public transportation, the bus, maybe a taxi.
The average American doesn't. 6. Do you watch television about 3 hours a day? The average American does. 7. Do you exercise every day?
Okay. Do you exercise every day, Fatima, Carolina, Pacheco, or no? Like me. Yeah, very good, Pacheco. Carolina? Fatima? No? Pena.
The average American doesn't. 8. Do you eat at a restaurant 3 times a week? The average American does. So, are you like the average American? If you're not, that's okay. It's fun to compare your life with the lives of people in another country. If you are, that's okay too, because the average American is happy.
Okay, question number 1, or we have to check true or false. It says, the average American works under 8 hours a day. El promedio del americano trabaja menos de 10 horas al día. Dice que sí, aquí dice. With a full work just over 8 hours a day. Solo 8 horas. Number 2, the average American spends 3.5 hours on the internet. True or false?
True.
False. No, it's false because this average American spends just 2.5 hours on day.
Ah, perdón, creí que sigamos en la primera.
No worry. No, the second. Number 3, the average American gets up at 8 a.m. on weekdays. True or false? No, it's true. Do you get up at 6:30 a.m. on weekdays? Average American, yes. So this is, you say false? ¿Dijiste falso, Carolina?
Yes.
Sorry, you're correct. Number 4, the average American eats cereal in the morning. True or false?
True.
True. The average American uses public transportation every day. True or false?
False.
False. The average American eats at a restaurant about 4 times a week. True or false?
False.
False. Thank you, Pacheco. Let's check the answers. All correct? Yes. So, well, these are like the activities, average activities for the average American. Well, those activities are normal, and Mexico is very similar to that. Take a quiz about if you are similar to an average American. I don't know if you have your computer on so you can do it. No sé si tengan su computadora prendida y ya se firmaron. No se han firmado, ¿verdad? Todavía. Chicos. So we have to answer. For example, let's just do the quiz for Francisco. Francisco, do you get up at 6:30 on the weekends, on weekdays? Yes or no? Pacheco, yes or no?
No.
No? Okay. Do you sing in the shower, Pacheco? You say yes. Do you have cereal with milk before breakfast?
No.
No? Okay. Do you have a pet?
Yes.
Do you use public transportation every day?
Sometimes.
Okay, let's put yes. Do you watch television 3 hours a day?
No.
No, very good. Do you exercise every day?
Yes.
Do you eat at a restaurant 3 times a week?
No.
No, okay, finished. So it says you are not like an average American. That's okay, but according to this quiz, you are different from an American. That's fine. That's okay. Let's check about teen habits. You do it and you check your answers. Okay, Fatima and Carolina? You check your answers in your computer, in your platform. ¿Vale? It says, listen to teen habits. Teen means jóvenes because teens are 13 to 19 years old. So you have the teen numbers to talk about young people from 13 years old to 19 years old, okay? Let's listen all together and then we have to check the correct number according to the listening. Here we have the options. One is correct and the others 2 are incorrect. What are we going to do? We are going to listen. And after we listen, we are going to answer these questions. Did you understand the activity? Fatima, Carolina, Pacheco? Yes? We are going to listen and then according to the listening, we are going to select the correct option. Got it? Did you understand? ¿Sí le entendieron? Very good. Thank you, Carolina. Okay, let's listen all together.
An average American teenager sends or receives 200 text messages a day, listens to music for 2 hours every day, spends over 4 hours a day on the internet, and watches TV for about 20 hours a week.
Okay, let's listen again.
An average American teenager sends or receives 200 text messages a day, listens to music for 2 hours every day, spends over 4 hours a day on the internet, and watches TV for about 20 hours a week.
Number 1, what is the correct number? 50, 100, 200.
200.
Listens to music for 2, 3, or 5 hours.
2 hours.
Okay.
I
Don't worry. Fatima, this is for you. Spends over hours a day on the internet.
4.
4. Carolina, and watches TV for about 24 hours a week. Let's check the answer. Oh, no. Okay, what is the correct? I thought it was 24. I guess it's 20. 20. Okay, very good. Let's check activity number 2. It says, listen again to Tyler Johnson and put the items in order. So this is Tyler, and here are his activities. we need to put them in order. Maybe he watched TV, then he maybe listens to music, and finally text messages. At the end, spends times online. But we are to listen this listening about Tyler, and we are going to put in order them. You hear them. So if we listen, we are going to know the order of these items that he does, these activities that he does. Let's listen about the activities of Tyler, and after that, we are going to put them in order, okay? In the order we hear them.
Hey, Tyler, here's an interesting article about teenagers, about their daily habits. Just listen to this. An average teenager sends or receives over 200 text messages a day. That's amazing.
200? Yeah, well, I only send about 50 messages a day.
Yeah, but how many do you receive?
Well, probably about 50. Oh, okay. So I send and receive about 100 text messages a day. That's not bad.
And what about music? Do you listen to a lot of music? The average teenager listens to music for 2 hours a day.
I don't know. Actually, I only listen when I'm on the bus or train, and that's about 2 hours every day. So I think I listen to music about 2 hours a day. I guess I'm pretty average when it comes to music.
Yeah. And then it says, teenagers spend over 4 hours a day on the internet.
Oh, I don't spend that much time. I'm only on for about 2 hours at night. Oh, wait. I spend about 2 hours on different social networks during the day. Okay, so I guess I spend 4 hours a day on the internet. Is that a lot?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, how much television do you watch? It says here that an average teenager watches about 20 hours a week of television. Now that's a lot.
20 hours? I don't watch 20 hours a week. Let's see. On weekdays, I watch about 3 hours at night, and then on the weekends, I watch 3 or 4 baseball games or soccer matches. So that's probably 8 hours. So how much is that?
It's 23 hours a week. I mean, that's almost 1 whole day a week you spend watching TV.
So I spend 23 hours a week in front of the TV. Wow, that's pretty bad, isn't it?
Okay. Which was the first activity mentioned? Watching TV, music, text messages, or time online?
Text messenger.
Text messages, very good. The second?
Music.
Music. The last one? Well, the next is time online, and the last one is watching TV. Let's check. All correct. Here the activity was only to mention or to put in order to put in order as we hear them when they are mentioned. Let's go to activity number 3. Now we need to complete here these boxes that are telling us the missing information. For example, number 1, an average teenager sends or receives over 200 text messages a day. Tyler sends and receives about 10?
100.
50, 100. Thank you, Fatima. Number 2, An average teenager listens to music for about 2 hours a day. Tyler listens to music about 2, 4, or 10.
4.
Okay. Caro, number 3. An average teenager spends over 4 hours a day on the internet. Tyler spends about 2, 4, or 6. 6? 2 or 4? 4. Finally, Pacheco, an average teenager watches television about 20 hours a week. Tyler, 8, 20, or 23?
20.
20. Okay. Let's check the answers. No. It's 23. But about 4 hours a day, well, it's 2 hours. But that is fine. We can hear the conversation again.
Hey, Tyler.
But it's the same conversation we just heard. So let's move on. Now just checking true or false. It says, according to the listening, Tyler sends more text messages than the average American is false. He sends and receives 100. Tyler listens to music on the bus or train, true or false? True or false?
False.
False, okay. Tyler only spends time on the internet at night. True or false? Do you want to listen again the conversation about Tyler? ¿Quieren volver a escuchar?
Yes.
Okay, let's listen again. Thank you, Carolina.
Hey, Tyler. Here's an interesting article about teenagers, about their daily habits. Just listen to this. An average teenager sends or receives over 200 text messages a day. That's amazing.
200? Yeah, well, I only send about 50 messages a day.
Yeah, but how many do you receive?
Well, probably about 50. Oh, okay. So I send and receive about 100 text messages a day. That's not bad.
And what about music? Do you listen to a lot of music? The average teenager listens to music for 2 hours a day.
I don't know. Actually, I only listen when I'm on the bus or train, and that's about 2 hours every day. So I think I listen to music about 2 hours a day. I guess I'm pretty average when it comes to music.
Yeah. And then it says, teenagers spend over 4 hours a day on the internet.
Oh, I don't spend that much time. I'm only on for about 2 hours at night. Oh, wait. I spend about 2 hours on different social networks during the day. Okay, so I guess I spend 4 hours a day on the internet. Is that a lot?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, how much television do you watch? It says here that an average teenager watches about 20 hours a week of television. Now that's a lot.
20 hours? I don't watch 20 hours a week. Let's see. On weekdays, I watch about 3 hours at night, and then on the weekends, I watch 3 or 4 baseball games or soccer matches. So that's probably 8 hours. So how much is that?
It's 23 hours a week. I mean, That's almost one whole day a week you spend watching TV.
So I spend 23 hours a week in front of the TV. Wow, that's pretty bad, isn't it?
Okay, so number 1 is done. Number 2, false. Number 3, Tyler only spends time on the internet at night. False. Tyler watches baseball games and soccer matches on the weekends. True or false? Carolina.
False.
Tyler spends about a day a week watching television. Pacheco. True or false? Maybe Pacheco is now having a shower or taking a shower or dressing. What about you, Fatima? True or false? Or Carolina?
True.
True. Okay, let's check the answers. Oh, number 4. He watches baseball games on the weekends. Take a look at the script. Right here is the script. It says receives 200, but he says I only sent 50. So this is false. Number 2, Tyler listens to music on the bus, on the train. Do you listen? It says, I only listen about 2 hours, pretty average, when I am on the bus or the train. This is true. Tyler spends time on the internet at night. I don't spend too much time. Oh, I only on for 2 hours at night. So this is true. Tyler watches baseball games and soccer matches on the weekends. Television says, it says this is 20 hours. I don't watch 20 hours. I watch 3 hours at night. On the weekends, I watch 3 or 4 hours baseball games and soccer matches. So this is true. And finally, about a day, Tyler spends about a day watching television. 23 hours, it's almost means casi un día completo. So this is true. It's okay, the activity, guys. It's a fun activity. You do this again in your platform, okay? This is practice, remember, for you. Now, listen to Tyler's activities. Are you like Tyler or different? For example, number 1.
So I send and receive about 100 text messages a day. That's not bad.
Tyler sends and receives about 100 text messages. If you, Fatima, Carolina, or Francisco, send the same amount, you are like Tyler. If you send less or more, you are different. What do you say, Carolina? Are you like Tyler or different?
Different.
What about you, Fatima? Like Tyler or different?
Different.
Okay, what about Pacheco? Are you there, Pacheco? Maybe he is changing. Number 2.
So I think I listen to music about 2 hours a day. I guess I'm pretty average when it comes to music.
Music, 2 hours a day. Are you like Tyler, Fatima, 2 hours a day or more or less?
I'm just like Tyler.
Okay, what about you, Carolina? More music, the same or less?
Different.
Different, okay. Number 3.
Okay, so I guess I spend 4 hours a day on the internet.
4 hours a day.
Is that a lot?
On the internet. Fatima, like Tyler or different?
Like Tyler. No, different.
Different. What about you, Carolina? Different or similar to Tyler?
Similar.
Different. Similar.
Similar.
Okay. Number
So
4.
I spend 23 hours a week in front of the TV. Wow, that's pretty bad, isn't it?
23 hours watching TV. What about you, Carolina? Similar or different than Tyler?
Different.
Different. What about you, Fatima?
Different.
Different. Okay. And this is not like a great activity. It's just for fun. Okay, now let's go to the next topic. Any question about different activities? Remember, these activities are like the activities from an average American. So there are activities that we do all the time here in Mexico too. In this topic, we are going to talk about capital letters. Do you remember what means capital letters? ¿Saben qué significa capital letter or capitals?
Las letras mayúsculas.
Exactly. Let's listen to the lesson here. When do you use a capital letter?
Help note. Capitals. These are capital letters.
Exactly.
Use a capital letter for a new sentence.
Every time you start
Marissa is
a new sentence, you start with a capital letter, just like in Spanish. Very
new
simple.
student in the class. She is from Rio originally.
A new sentence.
Use capital letters for people's names.
Marissa is a new student in the class.
People's names are always in capitals or names of countries like Rio or cities like Rio.
Use capital letters for the names of places.
She is from Rio originally.
Use capital letters for the names of languages.
She has English classes over 18 hours a week.
English language, no, languages. Languages in general. For example, you don't say Spanish like this. You say, using a capital letter, Spanish. Okay? The same for French, with a capital letter, French, or Chinese or Japanese. Every single language, you use a capital letter. Okay? Let's continue.
Use capital letters for the names of days of the week.
Very important. All days of the week in English, you need to write the name of the day with a capital letter. Always. Always with a capital letter. For example, Saturday, Sunday, morning.
She also takes a Chinese class on Saturdays.
Also, months of the year too. What else? You use capital letters for months of the year, days of the week, people's names, places. If you start a new sentence, always use a capital letter. Part 2 for this little note, you can have it right here. New sentences, people's names, names of places, names of languages, and finally, the names of the days of the week. Here, for example, select 3 correct sentences. Please let me know if you find a sentence that is correct. I have English class on Wednesday. I spend 2 hours a day watching television. My father works in California 2 days a week. My mom doesn't watch TV a lot. My friend Tyler and I send 100 text messages a week. My sister Karen doesn't get up early. My brother speaks English and Spanish. We have to find 3 sentences that are correct. For example, I want you to help me. 1 for each of you. Fatima, which sentence is correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
7. No, 1.
Okay, number 1 is correct. Carolina, which sentence is correct? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
3.
This is correct. My father works in California. Okay, what about you, Pacheco? The last one.
My sister Karen doesn't get up early.
Exactly. Those are correct because here I spend 2 hours a day watching television. Okay. I spend 2 hours. This one is correct too, I guess. I have number 1, Fatima, is incorrect. Let me tell you why it's incorrect. Because here Wednesday needs a capital letter. Okay? Okay, Fatima? So the correct one is number 2. This is not. This is the correct one. Let's check. So the mistakes are the following. These are the mistakes. Wednesday needs a capital letter. My mom starts a sentence with a capital letter. Tyler needs a capital letter. And Spanish needs a capital letter. Okay? Do you understand? Do you have the mistakes now? Guys? Yes, thank you. Okay, let's go for part 3. It says match the words with capital letter with the reasons. Okay, here are the reasons. No. Here are the sentences. And why are they using capital letters? Here are the reasons. Capital letters for people's names, capital letter for name of places, capital letter for languages and days of the week. This one, what number is the reason for this sentence? They have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What is the reason? What is the number of the reason?
Letters use capital letter for days on the week.
Days of the week. Very good. I'm going to give you control, Fatima, or Carolina, and this time for Carolina. I'm going to give you control for number 1, capital letter for people's names. People's names. Yes, that is correct. Fatima, now you do it for number 2. Names of places. Tokyo. Very good. Finally, do it the last one. Do the last one. Thank you. Exactly. Check answers, please. Click on check answers. And those are the reasons. Reasons and examples. Great job. Very good. Check on number 4. Yes, you click on the arrow for the next activity. Thank you. And here it says correct the sentences. In this activity, you need to type or to correct the sentence. For example, here in sentence number 2, what is the mistake? She is from Rio originally. Rio needs a capital letter. And that's the way you correct the sentence. What is the mistake in sentence number 3? Pacheco is walking to the job. What is this? What is the mistake? She, thank you, Carolina. She needs a capital letter. Number 4, what is the mistake, Fatima?
English.
English. English, no, week. Week is okay like that. Only the names of the days. Thank you. What about number 5, Carolina? She also takes a Chinese class on Saturdays. Chinese. Okay, it goes with a capital letter. Finally, number 6, Fatima. The mistake is? Fatima, what is the mistake? In the evenings, she relaxes with her friends.
Evening?
Evening? Well,
no, mayúscula in.
In the evening, that is correct, yes. Let's check the answers. She also takes Chinese classes on Saturdays. We miss Saturday. Okay, this one here, I didn't see that. No vi Saturday, qué pena. ¿Pero por qué está mal?
Ahorita sube.
Chinese.
Sí, por favor, no es que para... Ahorita bien después varios.
Chinese and Saturday.
Si no te llamo.
There you go. So this is a little practice for capital letters. Okay, any questions up to here? ¿Alguna duda, alguna pregunta for capital letters? No? Let's go for the next activity, periods. What means period? ¿Qué significa period?
Punto.
Exactly. Period means punto. We have different names for the punto in English, point or dot, but we use differently each word. Let's listen to the lesson.
Help note. Periods. This is a period.
Marissa is a new student in the class. She is from Rio originally.
Use a period at the end of your sentences.
Marissa is a new student in the class. She is from Rio originally.
So at the end of the sentence, you need a period. Very clear. This is for typing only or for writing. Use a period. For example, here, writing period. Correct the sentences. Add means to addition the period where is needed. For example, you see these little red dots, these points? It needs a period. For example, in number 2, where do we need to type a period? Jane goes to a restaurant with her family 3 times a week. They take public transportation. Where do we need periods?
Donde dice times a week.
Times a week, period. And the other one?
And transportation.
At the end of transportation. Let's check the answer. And yes, there is when, very easy, that is the place where a period goes. That's very easy. You practice this also in your platform. Just remember, at the end of every sentence, you use period. For the internet, it's not period, it's dot, remember? And here we have more practice. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, let's listen. All is the same.
Help note. Capitals and periods.
Capitals and periods.
Remember, use capital letters for new sentences and names. Remember, use a period at the end of your sentences.
Okay. It's just a reminder for you to use properly this activity. Let's go for activity number 2. Just a little practice. Let me know if the sentence is correct or incorrect. Number one, it's done. I take public transportation 3 times a week. I ride the bus. This is correct. Number two, I play games on the internet at night. I spend about 3 hours online. Correct or incorrect? Yes, Fatima? Correct or incorrect? Or Carolina? Incorrect?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Thank you, Carolina. Yes, this is incorrect. We are going to check the answers. Yes. So you need to check the others three, the others sentences. My parents go out on the weekends. They go to a restaurant every Saturday. Fatima, correct or incorrect? Can you hear you, Fatima?
Correct.
Correct. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Correct. Let's check. No, Fatima, this is incorrect. Why? Because here we have a period. A new sentence needs a capital letter. Number 4, Carolina. My friend Alba is Spanish. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Correct?
Incorrect.
Incorrect, yes. Spanish needs a capital letter. Okay. Francisco, my brother shops online every day. Correct or incorrect? Correct, yes. I go online in the mornings. Fatima, correct or incorrect? Yes, it's incorrect. 7, Carolina, I take a class on Fridays. Fridays, yes, it's incorrect. I think I am an average teenager. This is correct. Very good. Remember, these are activities that you can do to practice. Here again, to use capitals, letters, and periods. This activity, you need to do it in your platform. Okay. Let's finish this unit before we go to the break. It's almost 2:30 and Fatima is hungry. ¿Verdad, Fatima? You're hungry?
Yes, pero puedes esperar un poquito más a las 2:30.
2:30, yes, we are getting closer to that. It says my blog. Fatima, do you have a blog? Or Carolina, do you have a blog? Francisco?
No.
What? Yes or no?
No.
No, okay, don't worry. What is a blog? It's very similar to the Facebook, but a blog is something that you write and many people see it. Maybe it's the people you want them to see, or in general, they can see it all. So here, this activity, you need to write an example of a blog. For example, what are the steps, the rules, or the things you need to do? For example, step number 1, to make or to prepare a blog, you need to write 4 or 5 sentences about your typical week. What things do you do on your typical week? Then you need to complete the sentence below with information. Important, make sure you use capital letters and periods when you need them. Then you are going to copy the sentences and then you go to a blog. Select new post and type my typical week. This is the activity you need to do. Let's check. This is an example. Give your own answers, and here are some example. Blog entry, and you talk about your week. My week isn't very interesting. These are sentences and put them together to connect the ideas. I study and work all week. I take English classes 10 hours a week. I study at home. I also work 20 hours a week, and so on. These are the activities you can do or you can write about to create a blog. Here, you can type whatever you want. So you can create a blog using these sentences. So you can add information and then you can copy, Control C, and you can paste the information, Control V. It's very easy. You can do it right here, but you need to use your information. For example, I take classes and then you write how many hours a week. I work how many hours a week, or how many hours do you study? This is different. You can make a sentence with I work and the hours, or I study and the hours a week. But you need to complete this activity in your platform. Okay, guys? I don't know if you understand the activity. No sé si entendieron la actividad. Yes. Chicos? Okay. Yes. You need to practice this, okay? Okay. Now with this, we are finishing unit number 4. This is the last activity. And today we are going to start unit number 5. We have covered some topics about unit number 5. Let's go to the aims before we move on. These are the aims. Let's review what we learned in unit number 5 and then the aims of unit number 6. Sorry, number 4, and then the aims of unit number 5. We learned how to describe our typical day. We learned about different routines we do during the day or the week. We review the pronouns, remember the rules for third person. And we learned the strategy about answering more than yes or no. These are ways to say no, different ways to say yes, but in order to sound friendly, we give more information, using well as a strategy to give us time to think and to sound more natural. We learned about the average American, the topics, the activities they do. And average means that you are not the top or not low, but something in the middle, so you can do an activity. Okay, welcome to unit number 5. We are talking today, or in this unit, we are going to be talking about free time activities. You are going to learn how to talk about your free time, the activities you like to do when you're not at work, when you are not at school, things that you like to do as a habit or as a pastime. Using the simple present, we are going to learn about information questions again. In lesson B, say how often we do things, the frequency, with the question with how often. We are going to talk about different times or frequencies that we do an activity. We are going to learn vocabulary about TV shows. In lesson C, we are going to learn how to ask in 2 ways the same question, but giving another question to be more clear and not so direct. So sometimes we ask a question and we are going to rephrase the question to give the same meaning, but more understandable. Then as a strategy of speaking, we are going to say, I mean, to give us time to think also, but to make more clear or repeat the ideas in a different way to be more clear and direct. In lesson D, we are going to talk and read about articles of people that is an addict of technology and how to send an email for a friend. And we are going to use these words for advice and but, and to join ideas, and but to contrast ideas. Maybe it says something not very positive, but to give another idea. These are the aims of this unit, unit number 5. So I don't know if you have any questions right now for unit number 4. Remember, next week we are going to cover unit 5, a little bit of 6. And I guess the exam is going to be in 2 Saturdays, so you have to be ready. Any questions up to here? Any doubts? If not, give me a thumbs up, please. If everything is fine. Thumbs up. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you, Fatima. Okay. Let's continue. Thank you, Francisco. Remember, next week, we are going to be online at 11, from 11 to 3. And Francisco is going to work in the morning now. Okay, what can we do? It says lesson aims. Before you begin, free time. Listen, what does Mary do in her free time? Match the activities in the box with the photos. Now, please help me. Number 1, what is the activity? Go to the movies, go to a club, go on the internet, or eat out? Go on the internet, yes. Number 2, Fatima?
Eat out.
Eat out. Francisco, can you help me with number 3? Go to a club to move the bote. Okay, and finally go to the movies. Please, everybody, listen and repeat.
Mary, do you go on the internet in your free time?
Yeah, I do. I check my email and I go shopping online.
Okay, don't repeat. It's very long. So listen to the activity. Listen to number 2.
Do you eat out a lot?
Yeah, I do. I eat out on Fridays after class.
Number 3.
Do you go out on Saturday nights? I mean, do you go to a club?
Yeah, I go to clubs a lot.
Number 4.
Do you go to the movies, Mary?
Yeah, I go to the movies with my friends on the weekends.
Okay. Different activities. What do you do regularly on the weekends, Carolina? Do you go to a club? Do you go to the movies? Do you eat out? Do you go on the internet? What do you like to do, Carolina?
Go to the movies.
Go to a club?
The movies.
To the movies. What about you, Fatima? Do you go to a club? Do you eat out?
Yes.
To a club to move the bote?
No. I eat out and I go to the movie.
Okay, what about you, Pacheco? What do you like to do on your free time? Go on the internet, eat out, to a club, or to the movies?
To the movies.
To the movies, very good. Pacheco, are you on the bus, Pacheco?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Pacheco is on the class on the bus. You see here, time expression again. We are going to talk about your free time with more time expression. We learned a lot in this past unit. Now we are going to see more time expressions. Here goes. Let's check the first activity. It's about a free time survey. No, well, that's the second one. Here, let's listen to the grammar about these time expressions.
Grammar. Time expressions. Use time expressions to answer questions with how often.
How often do you go out?
I go out every night.
How often do you go out?
I go out on Friday nights.
How often do you go out?
I go out once a week.
Once a week.
How often do you go out?
I go out 3 times a week.
How often do you go out?
I go out twice a month.
How often? What's the meaning of how often? Do you remember, Fatima, Carolina? How often is a question about frequency. Frequency talking about your activities. How often do you do an activity? In Spanish, how often says ¿qué tan seguido? How often do you go out? He says, I go out twice a month because he goes out 2 days during the month. We have expressions that we have heard before. For example, expression number 1.
Grammar.
Let's listen to the expression number 1 because that is not new. In the mornings, remember? Or how often? How often is answered by using...
When do you go out?
I go out every night.
Every night, like every day, something is very similar. So it means that he does the activity every day, or in this case, every night. All the time he does an activity.
How often do you go out?
Go out, she says.
I go out on Friday night.
On Friday. We use on to talk about days on Friday nights. So she goes out every Friday. Friday nights. The same question.
How often do you go out?
How often did you go out? He answers.
I go out once a week.
Once a week because he does the activity only one every week. So means once. Repeat after me, please. This word, once. Once. Repeat after me, once.
Once.
Once. So meaning that it's only in one opportunity. Not 2 or 3, once, only one.
How often do you go out?
I go out 3 times a week.
We use times to talk about ocasiones, 3 times a week, or veces, 3 times a week. 3 is the number of occasions that we do an activity. Before times, we can use a number. Once for 1 time. 3 or more, we use times. So repeat after me. 3 times.
3 times.
4 times. For more than 1. Listen to the next one.
How often do you go out?
I go out twice a month.
Twice. Repeat after me. Twice. Twice. Meaning that in 2 occasions, he does the activity. So here is 1, here is 2, twice a month. We don't say 2 times. Some people say that, but it's not correct. So the correct for 2 occasions is twice. Twice a month, twice a week, twice a year, or sometimes twice a day. Because if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, take a pill every 12 hours, is twice a day. Okay? So these are new expressions. Listen to this one. We are going to check a little bit of the grammar right here. What are the correct time expressions for these 4? I go out on, every, once, or for night. On night, every night, once a night, or a night. Which one is the correct? Carolina? A night? No.
Every night.
Every night. I go out Friday nights. On Friday. Thank you, Pacheco. Fatima, I go out a week. Once. Very good. And finally, twice a month. These are the correct expressions. Remember this. You have also these on your platform. Okay. Very good, guys. Let's do something now. Thing here, time expressions. These time expressions are used to, well, let's review a little bit about unit number 5. We are going to talk about free time activities. These are examples of free time activities, things that we like to do when we are not doing homework, school, or job. These are activities we do in our free time as a habit or pastime. Watch TV, go to the movies, play video games, sometimes listen to music, read, surf the internet or the internet, play an instrument also, go shopping, yes, especially go shopping with the credit card of the husband, con la tarjeta del esposo, do a sport or play a sport, spend time with the family, go out with friends or study. Activities that are leisure activities. And we are answering this question, how often? How often refers to a frequency, meaning when do you do the activity? For example, here the question, how often does she study, or how often do you visit your grandmother? But meaning frequency. We have different frequencies. Here, for example, we are going to use frequency adverbs or adverbs of frequency to say how much do we do an activity. Never 0% of the time. Always that you do the activity all the time. There are more frequencies as we are seeing. Once, twice, once a day mean only one opportunity, one occasion. Twice means 2 occasions. In this case, could be twice a week, twice a day, twice a month. Twice goes with everything. Twice a day, twice a week, twice a month, twice a year. For example, vacations. How often we have vacations from school? ¿Qué tan seguido tenemos vacaciones de la escuela? Twice a year? Twice a year, maybe in December, maybe Holy Week, Semana Santa, or summer, so it's 3 times. So we use once for one occasion. Only one occasion. It's incorrect to say one time. It's incorrect. This is incorrect. Once, meaning one occasion. Twice, 2 occasions. We say twice. 2 times is incorrect. We say twice. But if it's 3 occasions or more, we use the word times and the number. 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, 10 times. Okay, for one occasion, once. For 2 occasions, twice. 3 or more, we use the number and the word times. This is as the book is teaching us here in the platform. Right now, we are going to resume again the information on the video about this grammar time expressions. Let's listen again.
Expressions. Use time expressions to answer questions with how often.
How often?
How often do you go out?
I go out every night.
Every night. Every night means there is no missing of the days. They do the activity every night, not today and tomorrow. No. Today, tomorrow, the next day, and so on. Every night.
How often do you go out?
I go out on Friday nights.
Friday nights, because it's marked here, the day is Friday, so she goes out Friday nights. More frequencies. How often?
How often do you go out?
I go out once a week.
Once a week, one opportunity or one occasion every week. This, for example, this is a week right here. Only one opportunity. Week number 2, one occasion. Week number 3, one occasion. Means once. Once means one occasion. Another expression.
How often do you go out?
I go out 3 times a week.
3 times. You use the number of the occasions, 3 in this case, and the word times. So whenever you do something more than 2 occasions, meaning 3, 4, 5, 10, you use the number of the occasions plus the word times. Times means also ocasiones. So 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and so on. In this case, she goes out 1, 2, 3 times a week. 3 times a week. For example, another occasion here, another week, 3 times a week. 1, 2, 3, 3 times a week. 3 is the number of occasions. So you use 3 plus the number of the occasion. Let's continue.
How often do you go out?
More frequencies.
I go out twice a month.
Twice. Twice a month means that is 2 occasions during a period of time. Twice a month because we are using the whole month. Could be twice a week. One here, one here. In this week, twice a week. If you do an activity in 2 occasions in a day, for example, here and here, morning and afternoon, you go twice a day. Twice a day. So you can combine the number of occasions in a period of time. Doesn't matter. Let's continue. This is another expression, twice. And here we have an exercise. We did this exercise. Number 1, what is the answer for number 1? I go out. Remember me, help me with the number 1, please. What is the answer? Carolina, Fatima?
Go out every night.
Every night. Number 2, what is the answer? I go out
On Friday.
On Friday. Very good. Number 3.
I go out a week, once a week.
Once a week, meaning one occasion in the week. And finally, twice a month, 2 occasions in a month. Very good. Yes. Yes, of course, Carolina.
¿Por qué se le tiene que poner después del verbo go en out?
Go out. Okay. I go is like the verb voy in Spanish. I go, yo voy. But in English, when you have a verb phrase, un verbo en frase, a phrasal verb, you add a preposition. Sometimes you añades una preposición. En este caso, out. Out means afuera. I go out or go out means in Spanish literally or literal, salir afuera. But we don't say salir afuera, we say salir, I go out. So it's necessary because if you say only I go where? Sometimes we use another word. For example, I go to the movies. Ah, tú vas al cine. I go to the movies. I go to the beach. Voy a la playa. I go out. Voy a salir. Go, voy, out, a salir. I go out. ¿Sale, Carolina?
Okay, sí, teacher.
So it's necessary. Go out means salir. That is the meaning. And well,
Grammar. Time expressions.
Sorry. Is there another question, Carolina? Is it clear?
No, teacher.
¿Está correcto? ¿Está claro?
Claro, teacher.
Ok, cualquier duda, no importa. Pregunta. Déjame ver si ya estoy grabando, no me acuerdo. Oh, yes, we're recording. Let's listen to the resume.
Use time expressions to answer questions with how often.
These time expressions are used to answer this question, how often? Let me show you my presentation. How often is asking about the frequency. So, how often I want to know the frequency. For example, how often do you brush your teeth? ¿Qué tan seguido te lavas los dientes? Once a day. Very good. But 3 times a day sometimes. Or twice a day minimum. But imagine some people say 4 times a year, 4 veces al año. Oh no, bácala. So this is just an example. Because how often is asking about the frequency of an activity. Here we have some expressions, time expressions about this question, how to answer the question, how often.
Listen and repeat.
Listen and repeat, please.
How often do you go out?
This is the question. How often do you go out? Could be many activities. How often do you go to the movies? How often do you eat pozole? How often do you, eat pizza? There are many activities you can ask for a frequency. How often do you go to school? Every weekday or 5 times a week. Yes, so how often, meaning a frequency. Here is the question. How often do you go out? There are many expressions. Every night. On Friday nights, could be on Monday nights, or on Thursdays, or on Wednesdays. If I ask you, how often do you eat pozole in Acapulco? The question is here, how often do you eat pozole? Fatima, do you like pozole? Do you eat pozole, Carolina?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so how often do you eat pozole? Maybe we can say, I eat pozole. There are many questions, many answers. Once a week, if you do this every Thursday. Or that's the answer. I eat pozole every Thursday. Because you go to the pozoleria every Thursday. How often you eat pozole? Maybe if you really like pozole, 4 times a month, meaning that you eat pozole every Thursday of the month. 4 times a month, maybe less, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times. There are people that they don't like pozole. Oh, how often do you eat pozole? I eat pozole once a year because they don't like pozole. Una vez al año, once a year. So there are many answers depending on the person. Okay? For example, how often do you go out? Repeat this one, please. Let me put this one here.
I go out every night.
I'm going to ask you the question and you repeat the answer. How often do
I
you
go
go
out every night.
Repeat this, please. Listen and repeat.
I go out every night.
Every night.
Very good. Number 2, how often do you go out?
I go out on Friday nights.
I go on Friday night.
Very good. Number 3,
I go out once a week.
how often do you go out?
I go
out once a week.
Once a week. How often do you
I
go
go
out?
out 3 times a week.
I go on 3 times.
I go out 3 times a week.
Very good. And the last one, how often do you go out?
I go out twice a month.
Gone out twice a month.
Twice a month. Twice a month, 2 occasions. So here we have more expressions, as I told you. Let me erase my drawing. Once, 1 occasion. Twice, 2 occasions. 3 or more, you say the number of the occasion, 3, 4, 5, and the word times. Okay, there are more frequencies. We are going to learn those later on, but now these are the expressions that we are learning. Let's go for activity number 2. And here you need to identify the correct expression for the calendar. For example, here, everything is in red. On Friday nights, twice a month, every night, once a week, or 3 times a week. Which one is the correct for this, that all the days are in red? Let me help you. Because all days are in red, meaning that every night you do the activity. Or every night you play soccer. Every night you watch TV. This is only Fridays. What is the correct answer?
On Friday night.
On Friday nights, because Friday is select. What about number 3? Here is 1 week. Here is another week. Oh, 1 occasion, 1 occasion. 1 occasion every week. Huh?
Once a week.
Once a week. Very good, Carolina. Yes, that is the correct answer. Once a week. What about number 4?
Twice a month. No.
Number 4?
3 times a week.
Exactly, 3 times a week. And the last one, it says twice a month, because here we have 1 day. Here is another day, and is in the same month. So the correct one is twice a month. Let's check the answers. Yes, that is correct. That's the activity number 2. Remember, these are some frequencies. There are more frequencies. Repeat after. Yes, Carolina.
Fuera una vez al mes sería
once, exactly. Once a month. Sí.
Teacher.
Yes, Fatima.
He visto que a veces están at, in, on, y los 3 significan lo mismo, pero ¿cómo se utilizan?
Okay, at, in, and on. At, in, on. These are prepositions. Sometimes, huh?
No.
Okay. Sometimes we use prepositions to tell about the time. For example, at night is the correct one. At night. We use all the time. Oops. At night. At is always for this time of day. Also, at is for the hour. You use at 12. Let me go back. At is used for hours. Also, at is used for hours is used for night, this expression, en la noche, a las 12. For example, in is, we're talking about the time, is used for minutes. For example, you say in 5 minutes. Or also we use in for the year, in 2021, because this is a year. Or in the morning, afternoon, evening. You use in every, this is a rule, Fatima. You use this as a rule. Okay? On for days of the week. For example, on Monday, on Friday, on Saturday, on for days of the week. And these are rules to use these three prepositions: at, in, and on. I don't know if I answered your question. No sé si contesté tu pregunta, Fatima. Because these are rules. At, we need to use this at night. Only for or at noon. It's another expression. At noon, meaning the middle of the day. Or at midnight. It's another expression. Midnight, a medianoche. But with these expressions, you need to use at. For in, you use for minutes, in 20 minutes, in 5 minutes. In the year, for in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or also for the month. For example, when is your birthday? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? In February. In. You use in also for months. On, we use on for days of the week. On Friday, on Monday, on Tuesday, and so on. These prepositions, when we are talking about time, these are some of the rules that you need to use when you are using in, on, or at. Let me find for you a pyramid to show you some of the rules. Here it is. Okay. Check this pyramid. At, on, in. They name it atonin. So at is used for time. At 2 p.m., 5 p.m., at 12 o'clock, at 7. Whenever you need to use or to tell the time, you use at. Okay? At for the time. On, you use on for days, if you are going to talk about your birthday, or dates, fechas, complete dates. And finally, in, you use it for weeks, for months, for years, decades, or centuries. These are rules, Fatih. Finally, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening are always uses with in, and at for at night, or at midnight, or at noon. Noon is also with at. Night is also with at, okay? Or midnight. So these are rules that you need to follow. Okay, Fatima? Son reglas.
Okay, teacher.
Sí. No sé si alguna duda más o todo bien. No? See? Thumbs up. It's just a matter of practicing. For example, here we have on. There are more uses. Every, once, twice, or 3 times. What we need to do here is to put the words that go together. These are phrases. Phrases of time. What word goes with on? ¿Qué palabra va con on? On night, on day, on Friday nights, on weekends, on month, a month. Which is the correct one?
On day.
On day. On
no, perdón, on
Monday,
week. On week.
on weekends.
Weekends.
On the weekends. Try to remember the complete phrase. On the weekends.
A month.
On a month.
Yes. No, month.
Mm,
No.
Day.
Okay, we have, let's check these answers. Yes, weekends is correct. Now, check answers. Okay, try again. Correct your answers. Okay. Let me help you with every. For example, every day.
Every night.
Every night. Every weekend, yes. What about once?
Weekend.
No.
A month.
Once a month. Once a month.
Friday night.
On once a Friday night, twice a Friday night, 3 times a Friday night? No. Let me help you with a week. Once a week. Once a week.
Once a month.
Once a month is right here. Month. Every month.
Weeknight.
Okay. Weeknight. ¿Dónde va? Weeknights on weeknights or every weeknights? Every weeknights, yes. What about Friday nights?
On Friday night.
On Friday. Month.
On month.
On month?
Month.
Every month. Now let's check the answers. Every weeknights? No, this is incorrect. It was my mistake too. No, weekends is not here. Oh, yes. On weeknights. Let's remember these expressions. With on, we use weeknights, on weeknights. On Friday nights, on weekends. On. Every is used for the complete month, every month, the complete weekend, every weekend or every week, every night or every day. And these are other frequencies with once, twice, or 3 times. Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, or once a month, twice a month, or 3 times a month. Okay? Okay, please, Fatima, Carolina, repeat after me. On weeknights.
On weeknight.
On Friday nights.
On Friday night.
On weekends.
On weekends.
On the weekends.
On the weekend.
Now expressions with every. Every means todos. Every month.
Every month.
Every weekend. Every night.
Every night.
Every day.
Every day.
Every. Now, once, we are going to do only once. Once a week.
Once a week.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Meaning one occasion. One occasion. Now twice, two occasions. Twice a week. Twice a month.
Twice a month.
Two occasions. Now three or more, you use the number and the word times. 3 times a week.
3 times a week.
3 times a month.
3 times a month.
Okay, those are, they always go like that. On for these words, every for these frequencies, once, twice, or 3 times with this. Notice that when with once, twice, or 3, we use a. Once a week. We don't say once week or once month. No, once a week, once a month. It's necessary to use a. Okay? Just like in my presentation here. Once a day, twice a week, 3 times a month, 4 times. ¿Me estaban escuchando? No, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Sí. Okay. Can you hear me now? ¿Me escuchan ahorita?
Sí, teacher.
Very
Yes.
good. Okay, thank you, thank you. I don't know if you have doubts here or questions. ¿Tienen dudas o preguntas aquí con esto?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. Just review these expressions because these are useful to answer how often. Now here, again, we need to write down here or type the expression. For example, this one. Look at the calendar. How many days a week is happening, the activity? How many occasions a week? Twice, 3, 4?
Four.
Okay, 4 or 5 a month, but here it says a week.
Once a week.
Exactly. A week. Now, number 2. I meet my friends. It says Friday nights. Here are Friday nights. What is the expression? On, every, once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times? Every. Very good. For number 3, my friend eats out.
Ever.
Excuse me? Every. Very good. Every day. My parents go to the movie about once, one occasion. Exactly, a month. And number 5, my sister goes out twice, 2 occasions.
A week.
A week, excellent. Excellent. Now we have to check our answers. They are correct. What is it? Did I write it wrong? Lo escribí mal. Month. Ah, ya sé qué me faltó aquí, chicos. What is my a month? Exactly. A month. That's correct now. Very good. You see, those are expressions that answer the question, how often? How often means qué tan seguido, con qué frecuencia. How often. How often do you undo the activity? For example, for number 1, answer me with each of these frequencies. Contéstenme con cada una de estas frecuencias. For example, number 1, how often do you go to the gym?
I go to the gyms once a week.
Exactly. Carolina, how often do you meet your friends?
I meet my friends. How often?
Huh?
I meet my, no,
Ajá, how often. Pero a ver, aquí está, la tenemos mal. ¿Por qué? Every. ¿Qué está mal aquí? On Friday nights es lo correcto. No era Friday, no era every, era on Friday nights. Ahí está. Carolina, how often do you meet your friends?
I meet my friends my friend night.
On Friday nights.
On Friday.
Fatima, how often does your friend eat out?
My friend eats out every day.
Very good. Carolina, how often do your parents go to the movies?
My parents go to the movies about once a month.
About once a month. Very good. And finally, Fatima, how often does your sister go out?
My sister goes out twice a week.
Twice a week. Very good. So these are frequencies. Now let's go to the survey, to the questionnaire. Survey means a small exam, but only to know a specific information. A survey like the survey the political parties are doing, así como las encuestas que hacen los partidos políticos. Survey means encuesta. Here it says, getting started free time survey. Choose the activities that you do in your free time. So, Fatima, do you meet your friends in your free time? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, can you give me a little bit more information? I'm going to ask again. Now let's practice giving more information to sound friendly. Not only yes, not only no. Think about your answer, okay? This is very important. Fatima, do you meet your friends? Do you like to meet your friends?
Yes, I meet my friends once a month.
Excellent, Fatima. Very good. Now, Carolina, do you go to the gym?
Yes, I go to the gym twice week.
Twice a week. Excellent, Carolina. Very good. Fatima, do you play sports?
Yes, I play sports once a week.
Excellent. Wow, you're doing great. Carolina, do you go to the movies?
Yes, I go to the movies once a month.
Once a month. Excellent, Carolina. Movies. Fatima, do you go to a club to move the bote?
No, ¿cómo se dice? I don't like.
Okay, I don't like to go to a club.
Okay.
Now you say it. Do you go to a club, Fatima?
No, I don't like go a club.
To go to a club, very good. Fatima, do you go on the internet?
Yes. I like surf internet.
Surf on the internet, very good.
Okay.
Carolina, do you eat out?
Yes, I am with my friends.
I eat out.
I eat out
with my friends.
Once a month.
Once a month, very good. Fatima, do you go to a cafe?
No, I like a coffee, but I don't go a coffee.
To a cafe. Café is a French word. Aquí la palabra café es una palabra francesa, a café. Coffee in English is the beverage. Coffee en inglés es la bebida. Coffee. Café is the place. Okay. So, yes, English language is mixed with other languages. Okay. Carolina, do you play video games?
No, don't.
I don't like to play video games, or I don't play video games. Very good. Fatima, do you spend time with your family?
Yes, I spend time with family every day.
Excellent. Very good job, Carolina and Fatima. Excellent job. Now, let's go for part number 2 because we are talking about the survey. We did this on the book, remember? We answered this, is from Robert. This is a survey about free time. And also, well, let me explain that you can check the activities you like to do or the answers that are given. How often do you go out? Do you need to check one box or add more information? It says, read the questions and choose the correct answer. I know that you have answered this in your book, but here we have more questions. Number 1, what is a survey? What is the correct answer? Let me know, please. A list of questions, a list of pictures, or a list of articles? What is the correct one?
A list of questions.
Yes.
Of questions.
A list of questions. Caro, number 2. What is the topic of this survey? This one here. What is the topic? Sports, free time activities, or celebrities? Free time activities, very good. And finally, what is a good question about free time activities? These are 3 questions, but which of these 3 questions is good for a free time activities? Do you have a job? Where are you from? Or do you go out in the evenings? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3, okay, excellent. Check answers. Very good job. Yes, a list of questions with general information. That is a survey. Let's continue with number 3. Here is Robert Acosta and her friend and his friend talking about the survey. Okay, let's listen about this activity. It says, listen as Rebecca talks with her friend Roberto about a survey. And you need to match the responses with the questions. You need to match. Match means unir. Here, let's listen to the audio, please, okay? Here goes.
Hey, Robert, listen to this. It's a survey in my magazine.
What's it about?
It's about your free time.
Okay. Ask me the questions.
Wait. Name, Robert Acosta. Occupation, student. Okay.
Okay. Where is the survey from? Acosta, Rebecca's magazine, or student? No.
Rebecca Magazines.
Rebecca's magazine. Sí, es de la revista de Rebecca. Ahí viene la encuesta. What is Robert's last name? Acosta, very easy. What is Robert's occupation? A student. Yes. let's go for activity number 4. There are more activities, I think so, about the survey. Okay. Okay, ya se cansó mi amiga la compu. Okay. We are here getting started. Free time survey. Let's try to, I'm trying to get my computer working here. Here's number 1. Okay, let's go number 2. Survey, yes, we did this. Number 3. Okay, we finished. This is number 4. Okay, here it goes. And now we are going to listen again about the survey between Roberto and his friend, I don't know, I don't remember her name, but we are going to select the correct answer. So for example, number 1 is done. How often do you go out? Once or twice a week. We need to hear the audio in order to select the correct question. Now, question number 2, when do you usually go out? Check the frequencies. On weeknights, on weekends. Where do you go? To the movies, to clubs, to restaurant, to the gym. Can you read, Fatima, question number 4, please?
Who do you go out with?
Okay, remember, who ask about people with is a must. With in Spanish, con. And we answer, we make the question, we ask different. In Spanish, we say, con quién. But in English, who do you go out with? Okay? My family, friends, my girlfriend, my boyfriend. Can you read question number 5, Carolina, please?
How often does your family eat out together?
Okay, frequencies. How often? Once or twice, 2 or 3 times a month, once a month, only in special occasions. Fatima, the last one, please.
What do you do in your free time at home?
At home. Okay. Now, let's listen to the audio. And, yes.
Una pregunta.
Yes, of course.
¿Por qué dice, what do you do?
What do you do?
Ajá. ¿O qué significa?
What do you do? ¿A qué te dedicas? O what do you do? ¿Qué es lo que haces? What do you do?
Después de las preguntas, cumple la misma función que el tú en las oraciones y todo eso.
Okay, very good observation, Fatima. What is the question word? But in order to create a question, we need to use do or does for third person, because now do or does is a helping verb, auxiliary. Helping verb, es un verbo de ayuda. What is do or does helping us? Helping to create a question. Without do or does, we cannot create a question. So do or does in a question with a question word is a must, is necessary in order to create a question, Fatima. Of course, you get confused because here is another once more is do. Y claro que nos confundimos porque aquí está do otra vez. So we have do twice in the same sentence. Tenemos a do en 2 ocasiones. But remember, this do or does is a helping verb. Here do is the action. Y aquí do es la acción. We are going to see about these questions in this unit, but it's a good observation, Fatima. Very good observation. So, what do you do? What do you es qué es lo que tú do? ¿Qué es lo que tú haces? What do you do in your free time at home? So remember, do in questions is an auxiliary, a helping verb, un verbo de ayuda in this question. To create a question with what? ¿Vale?
Entonces, cuando no se utiliza el verbo to be como is o are, se utiliza el do o el does.
Exactly. For example, sí, what is that? ¿Qué es eso? You use verb be. But for actions, what do you do? What do you like? What do you play?
Ah, es más como para acciones.
Where do you go? We are going to see about these questions in this unit. Y vamos a ver estas preguntas en esta unidad. Let me show you before we go. It says grammar simple present with information questions. Con preguntas de información. We learned in unit number 4 about information questions. I don't know if you remember. We learned about many information questions. I don't know if we have this here. No, en la unidad 3 creo. ¿Se acuerdan? What, where, when, how, who. Every single question has its own function. Cada pregunta tiene su función. And we are going to see that in this part. You can go and check it out during the week. Pueden checarlo en la semana para ir avanzando. Here, in this part, right here. We are in free time survey. Now we are here in the activity. This part, figure it out, simple present information question. In this part, we are going to start seeing these different types of questions. Ahí vamos a ver estos diferentes tipos de preguntas. Pero ¿ya la están introduciendo aquí? Yes. What do you do? When do you usually go out? Again here. When do you usually, aquí está el verbo, go out. Do is an auxiliary. ¿Sí, Carolina?
Yes,
Pensé que tienes una pregunta. Where do you go? Where do auxiliary go? ¿A dónde vas? Where do you go? Who do you go out with? Who, question word, do auxiliary, action, go out. Here, how often does, how often, frequency, does auxiliary, eat out or eat, this is the action. Esta es la acción. Very good question, Fat. Very good question. Okay, we are finishing this. I don't think we are going to finish this one. So we are going to skip this. We are going to skip this and we are going to see about this next class. Okay, ladies?
Yes, teacher.
We are going to just review what we have learned in this unit. Well, from unit number 4. Let's just review what is the content of unit number 4. In unit number 4, we learn how to describe activities in a typical morning, on the week, answer yes and no, but also to give more information, to sound friendly, and to use well to give us time to think. And also, we read about American habits. These are the topics. The question, what is your typical day like in the morning? daily routines, take a shower, feed the dog, cook dinner. We review the pronouns, third person rules for verbs in the present in affirmative only. They change. We learn many ways to say yes or no, but also give more information and use well to give us time to think. We learn about average and information about typical activities of Americans. In unit number 5, we just start with free time information, free time activities, sorry. These are the activities that we can do when we are not working, when we are not at school, or when we don't have an obligation. These are activities you do because you like to do it. And finally, we saw this question that refers to frequency. How often? How refers to manners, to characteristics, but in combination with often, how often refers to frequency, the frequency that you do the action. Can you check here also? How often does an auxiliary for she, how often does she, and here is the action, study. How often do you, for you, this is the auxiliary, how often do you visit is the action, nor do or does right here is only an auxiliary verb. It's a helping verb. And we learn about some frequency adverbs and some frequencies also for number of times that we do an activity. Okay, so we are finishing today's class. And next week, if everything is fine, we are going to start at 11. Okay, Fatima? Next class is at 11. It's okay for you also, Carolina? 11 o'clock, not 12. Alas.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Una
Very good. Sí, sí, sí.
¿Sabe